President Biden and our ABC News exclusive interview.
Yeah, the Biden campaign reaching out earlier this week, agreeing to sit down on Friday in Madison, Wisconsin, for the president's first broadcast interview since last week's debate.
George Stephanopoulos taping the interview yesterday, airing in prime time with no cuts, no edits. The interview lasted 22 minutes. And in case you missed it, here are portions of that conversation as it aired.
I know you spoke with your doctor after the debate. What did he say?
He said, he just looked at me and said, "You're exhausted." I said, "Look, I have medical doctors travel me everywhere, every president does, as you know. Medical doctors, some of the best in the world, travel me everywhere I go. I have an ongoing assessment of what I'm doing. They don't hesitate to tell me if they think there's something wrong."
I know you said you have an ongoing assessment. Have you had a full neurological and cognitive evaluation?
I get a full neurological test every day with me. And I've had a full physical. I had, I've been at Walter Reed for my physicals. Yes, the answer is.
I know your doctor said he consulted with a neurologist. I guess I'm asking a slightly different question. Have you had the specific cognitive tests, and have you had a neurologist, a specialist, do an examination?
No one said I had to. No one said, they said I'm good.
Would you be willing to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive tests and release the results to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test. Everything I do. Not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world.
And President Biden saying he hasn't had any specific cognitive tests, but he's had a full physical, and that the job of the president is a cognitive test every day. And George then asking the president about the state of the race.
Just when you look at the reality, though, Mr. President, you won the popular vote in 2020, but it was still deadly close in the Electoral College.
7 million votes.
Yes, but you're behind now in the popular vote.
I don't buy that.
Is it worth the risk?
I don't think anybody's more qualified to be president or win this race than me.
George then went on to ask the president about his ability to defeat Donald Trump a second time.
I've heard from dozens of your supporters over the last few days, and a variety of views, I grant you that. But the prevailing sentiment is this. They love you, and they will be forever grateful to you for defeating Donald Trump in 2020. They think you've done a great job as president, a lot of the successes you outlined. But they are worried about you and the country, and they don't think you can win. They want you to go with grace, and they will cheer you if you do. What do you say to them?
I say the vast majority are not where those folks are. I don't doubt there's some folks there. Have you ever seen a group at time when elected officials running for office aren't a little worried? Have you ever seen that? I've not. Same thing happened in 2020. Oh, Biden, I don't know, man. What's he going to do? He may bring me down. He may.
Mr. President, I've never seen a president at 36% approval get reelected.
Well, I don't believe that's my approval rate. That's not what our polls show.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
And ABC News also offered a one-on-one interview to Donald Trump following the debate, but the former president declined. Now let's bring in ABC's senior White House correspondent Selina Wang for some reaction here. Selina, good morning. So what's next for the Biden campaign?
Yeah, well, the president is defiant. You heard them there in the interview. He is plowing ahead with his campaign despite growing panic in his own party. Donors and allies told me that the president did not do enough to stop the panic, and in fact, for some, it made things even worse. I'm told by a source that a group of donors are trying to raise as much as $100 million to support a candidate that would replace President Biden. And last night, Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix, a major Democratic donor, said that the president is, quote, unfortunately in denial about his mental state. But look, the Biden team tells me that the president's performance was strong and solid, that he proved his record over the last 3.5 years on the economy and foreign policy. party. Their view is that Biden has never been a great public speaker, but he did get his message across. The president will also be out there more aggressively in public in the coming days. He's going to be hosting the NATO summit next week, giving a press conference, and tomorrow he's doing a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Now, voters at that Wisconsin rally yesterday did tell me they felt reassured by the president's stronger performance, but many are still deeply concerned about his ability to defeat Donald Trump. And the very optimistic spin coming from the White House, it is only fueling concerns for many Democrats that the president is being shielded from reality by his inner circle. Whit.
And George Stephanopoulos' interview with President Biden will air again on this week's Sunday, along with more analysis from our Powerhouse Roundtable.